And good morning. Welcome to Interfaith Spiritual Center. We know that nothing happens by chance, that we are all here by divine appointment. And as I welcome our viewing audience, we know that we tune in at the exact moment that we need to be there. And as we come together, the two or three gathered, we know that there is an energy in the midst of us where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. That's called the synergistic mind. Some of us choose to call it God, some of us choose to call it our higher power, some of us choose to call it Buddha, Yahweh, Jehovah. It matters not, but to really acknowledge that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we really can use it. It's available for each and every one of us, and that's why I am in this way of life. What drew me into this way of life is that I realized that I could keep growing and unfolding and evolving. That I didn't have to be stuck with all of those issues in growing up in an alcoholic family and a home. That I could move past that and transcend it and utilize those experiences. Someone once said that I have made a great mosaic out of everything that's been broken in my life. Our life can be a work of art. Our life can be something magnificent. And when we really acknowledge that our daily life is our temple and our religion, we do things with a certain sacredness, with a certain mindfulness, with a certain knowing that that one moves through us and goes before us and prepares the way. I love The Aladdin Factor by Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield. It's a wonderful book. They wrote it in the 80s, and I just get so much value out of it. And so on this January, really looking at the Aladdin factor within ourselves and the magician archetype. Now, there are major archetypes, but the magician archetype has that wonderful facility, that alchemical facility to turn the routines of work into celebrations of life and love, to renew, regenerate, to have that touch. That no matter what's in front of us at any given moment, that we can transform our experiences. And that it is through the power of choice. Choose thee this day whom you will serve. God, life, truth, energy, or mammon, which is ego, which are the things of the ego. I believe, and why I love this way of life, is that we can be in the world to live, to love, to laugh, to express, to have our experience, to actualize our gifts and our talents, but of a higher spiritual reality. We know from whence we cometh and whither we goeth. We know that that one really does go before us and prepare the way as we become a lamp unto our own feet, drawing others into our light and our energy field. So knowing what to wish for, and that's a little poetic license, because we know that we speak our word into the law of mind, and the law of mind responds in like. But knowing what to wish for, that opening up the space. And Fleet just had his birthday, and I celebrated my goddaughter's birthday yesterday, and we did that little wish where you blow out the candle, you make a wish, right? And that energy permeates our consciousness, and that we open the space to allow God to do what God does best by means of us, because we are that vehicle. We are the experience God is having. You are as close to God as I am ever going to get. I am as close to God as you are ever going to get. It's not some, thing out here, elusive, imperceptible. It's the energy right here, right now. Every time we embrace, we feel that oneness within us that moves beyond color, race, creed, or sexual orientation. Our God is a God of oneness, and I believe we come in knowing that. And that along the way we get deterred. But when we're back on track, we're back on course, we know, we feel that oneness. We feel that energy. We open the space. And when we open the space, there is a heart of compassion within us. And when we experience that heart of compassion, everything flows. It doesn't mean that everyone's a vibrational match, or that, there isn't going to be some sort of conflict at times. but that we have the facility within us to transform that magician archetype that can take the experiences and mold them into something beautiful, a work of art. And when we know what to wish for, we know that it's an already accomplished fact in mind and experience. One little 8-year-old girl told her daddy, "We need to start recycling." He said, "We do?" She said, "Yes, because I want to save the planet." He goes, "Oh, you do? Why do you want to save the planet?" She goes, "Because that's where I keep my stuff." So we all keep our stuff here on the planet. And it's important to have a consciousness that allows us to repurpose things. And I love that. And that when we open to that so many things come into our lives when we accept our good and our unexpected good. When we realize that this experience, I've heard so many people say, "I didn't ask for this." Yes, you did. Not verbally, not audibly, but the subconscious mind. Remember that Aladdin is the conscious mind. The subconscious mind represents the genie. Your wish is my command. And the lamp itself is that action, that thought, that intelligence that allows us to experience what we want to experience. And it doesn't mean that we don't have compassion for when those experiences come in. But we have a choice. I can grow, I can evolve, I can unfold, or I can be at the effect of it. And I can draw people in to say, "Oh, you poor thing. Oh, this is so awful. Oh." And, then we get off that. And we get on the solution level. Number one, is there anything I can do about it? And number two, if so, what is it? And get on the solution level. Because knowing what to wish for is to know it's already there for us. It's already available in the etheric. We're calling it forth. Do you think that when the little boy brought in 5 loaves and 2 fishes and the 5,000 people needed to be fed, that Jesus said, "Oh my God, you're bringing me 2 fish, 5 loaves, oy vey, how am I going to handle this one?" No. He offered it up and said, "Thank you, Father, that thou hast heard me, and I know that thou hearest me always." He didn't say, "Well, maybe we'll do a little prayer. We'll meditate over it." He spoke his word into the law of mind, and the law of mind responded. And that substance became, through the electromagnetic energies, fed everyone. That we can collapse time and space. That we take ourselves out of the relative into the eternal moment. That's where miracles happen, in the eternal moment. And when we really get that, when we really understand that, and I say this, and people think, "Why is she, what? I do stuff for people." I always say we do everything for ourselves. And that I do this for myself, and if you get something out of it, wonderful. But the minute I think I do it for you, I'm thinking, "Oh, after all I've done for them, I got up at 2 a.m. to be at their hospital bedside. This is the thanks I get." The minute I think I do it for someone else, the gift becomes unclean because it has our projection and expectation on it. I do what I do for myself in the glory of God. And my life unfolds miraculously out of that. And that doesn't mean that we don't have our challenges and that we don't have things, our sufferings, and as Dostoevsky said, that I may be worthy of my sufferings so that I can learn and grow and evolve past them and take the essence and substance of what I've experienced with me. So I have something to offer you. So I have compassion, I have that energy to offer you. But when we know what to wish for, we say, "Thank you, Father, that thou hast heard me. And I know that thou hearest me always. That I speak my word into the law of mind. And I open to the abundance of the universe. And I may only have 2 loaves and 5 fish, or vice versa. But there is substance here, and there's something I can work with. And when I am feeling sorry for myself, I can make a gratitude list. I can give thanks and begin to focus and put energy on what's working in my life and build on that. And when we build on what's working in our lives, we expand it. and we keep expanding it. And what happens is we become it. We live from it. We begin to live from that space. There was a gentleman that founded a very important animal shelter in America. And he did that because he said that his dog that he just loved ran out into the street suddenly, and it was hit by a car. And he said, you know, I just sat on that curb, and I just bawled my head off and just wept. And he said, the last gesture that my precious pet did was lick the tears off my face. And out of that one gesture, he started a very important animal shelter in America, and where they don't euthanize the animals. They keep them there on a reserve. So out of those moments, out of the energy of our sadness, there is another energy that arises. Rick Galena said that when his little 5-year-old boy, he said he was riding his little bike, and he kind of went on the side of the street, and a kid on cocaine came and he hit him, and he said, and he died immediately. And out of that, he founded self-esteem, the self-esteem teachings in the United States. And he said, because I wanted to teach kids not to grow up like the young man that hit my child on the bike. To take something that has occurred in our lives and then to build on it so that others benefit, so that others are empowered, is to me the highest octave that we can attain to through our experiences. Because there's a lot to feel sorry for ourselves for, and a lot of things that have happened in our lives. But to feel the pain and the suffering, and then to realize I can transmute that. I can call in the magician archetype that transforms that suffering and that energy into something very powerful, into a purpose, into a cause, into a passion that allows everyone and anyone to be healed and uplifted in our presence. So we have the opportunity to recycle, because this is where we keep our stuff, isn't it? This planet. And that we do love our planet. And to be more conscious and mindful of how our lives are unfolding. And that when we begin to open the space and to realize, I'm rubbing the lamp here, I'm allowing the genie to come forth, your wish is my command. And these are the things that I wish to experience. And some of us want better health. So we have to bless the energy within us at a DNA cellular level and know that there is a power for good in the universe, and it is moving through me at a DNA cellular level. That the truth of me is that I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. And that when people say, well, that doesn't, I'm a spiritual person. Well, I'm really aware that we're all spiritual people. Every one of us. We are not human beings. Remember, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So when we really get that we're all spiritual beings, and that we can be in the world, but not of it. We can have our experience, actualize our gifts, our talents, and what we have to offer the world. And I also believe that every servant is worth their hire. And I have many, many people that I have counseled in the spiritual field that say, well, I feel a little guilty receiving donations. Why would you feel guilty? It's all God's creative substance to forward and advance our work, to create a better planet. And that knowing what to wish for, when we mastermind, as we did very powerfully Tuesday night, and had 12 of us and wrote down 5 things, and this new moon, this powerful new moon that won't come about again for 2,600 years, so don't hold your breath. 2,600 years, and wrote down what we wanted to actualize, and on another piece of paper, I had everyone write down what they wanted to release from their lives. We went out into the yard, into my burning bowl, and we set fire to it and let it return to its native nothingness from whence it came. And I said, and don't mind the neighbors, they know I'm a little weird, so and it's all right with them. So we did our burning bowl on the new moon, and we loosed, and let go of what no longer serves us in our lives. Only to arise in that moment to actualize where we want to be, what we're doing, and how we want to do it. So when we say, oh, I'm spiritual, I don't want things. Yes, we do. You know, I just say, yes, you do. You want a house and food on the table. I mean, there are things that we do want, and we can choose to have them or choose not to have them, but we're not going to be here very long if we don't choose healthy foods and the opportunity to nourish and regenerate this vehicle, which is the body. And I want to have as much energy as I can have while I'm here. I want a quality of life, don't you? We all want a quality of life. We want to be here with vitality and energy and aliveness and do what we do and absolutely love it. And if I love what I do and do what I love, there's no greater combination in life than that. So what are we going to do with our experiences? We're going to say, thank you, Father, Mother God. I know you've heard me, you've already given it to me, and I open the space to allow you to do what you do best by means of me. And when I do that, I know that it's an already accomplished fact in mind and experience. And what that means is we assume the same feelings we would have if our requests were already fulfilled. We move and live and have our being in that energy. Our requests are already fulfilled. And it's always telling ourselves what we want to experience, because the universe will respond to what we don't want as well. When you say to someone, don't slam the door, what do they hear? Slam the door, right? And so when we begin to speak our word, that I am happy, healthy, prosperous, and free, at a DNA cellular level, we receive that. I mean, neuroscience has already proven that. So as we come together to put into place what we are choosing to experience, the universe has already responded. We assume the virtue, though it looks like we have it not. And when we assume the virtue, the energies of the universe rush in to assist us in that fulfillment. And we actualize and keep growing and unfolding. Jesus said, let they who are great among you serve you. He knew the secret to life, that when we really serve at that deepest level, that everyone in the energy field is benefited. Everyone is uplifted and everyone is healed. That's why I love this way of life. That's why I've been doing what I'm doing for almost 40 years. And every single day is new for me. Every single moment is an opportunity to actualize and to be more than we were yesterday. I love you. I am so grateful to be here with you, to acknowledge that we are going somewhere, and do you know where it is? Higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you.